Hello and welcome to March 16th, where we're going to introduce this week's reading. This week we're going to be reading Numbers 34 through Deuteronomy 10. So we're starting in the tail end of Numbers and finishing up that on Monday, and then the rest of the week is going into the book of Deuteronomy. Now, covering the end of Numbers, there are some managerial details that impact the future of Israel that God has to lay out there for them, and so he clarifies that for them. And then you go into Deuteronomy, which oftentimes is defined as the second giving of the law. This is an instance where Moses takes a bunch of time to recite a lot of the things we've seen in Leviticus and some of the law sections of Numbers, but he gives it in a different packaging and a different form because he's appealing to a different people. If you remember throughout the book of Numbers, ever since Numbers 13 and 14, we've been slowly killing off the people of Israel and replacing them with the next generation who's actually going to inherit the land of Canaan. And so as you come to the end of Numbers, they're on the edge of the promised land. They're about to go in and conquer it, but not quite yet. Moses has this long message for them to reaffirm the law to them, to make sure that they know the law, just like their fathers knew the law. They get to know the law of God, make sure that they're solidified in that, and only then will they be able to cross over the boundary and into the land of Canaan, which we'll look at when we get to Joshua. They're about to inherit the promise of Abraham, and so they need to understand the law that God started with Abraham and ultimately gave through Moses. That's what we're going to be reading this week, Numbers 34 through Deuteronomy 10. So if you're interested in that, check back every day for the daily summaries and read those few chapters a day and start seeing a little bit of what Israel's going to get into in the book of Deuteronomy. Thanks for listening. Hopefully this is useful, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow where we're reading Numbers 34 through 36, the end of that book.